Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to cover why I chose the Samsung Galaxy A50 for my dad, who is retired now. Alright, so let's just jump right in. So I found this deal on, or rather I found this package on Amazon, and so it comes with free memory card right here. It's unbranded, but I believe it's from Samsung. I'm not sure. Pretty straightforward. 64 gigs, right? It's 64 gigs on board. When you first open the box itself, you'll flip over the cover and there'll be this container. In this container will be the quick start guide, the manuals and whatnot. So it was really important that this case came with the phone so that the phone is obviously protected, and that if my dad ever has any butterfingers, it'll protect the phone. Next, we already covered the memory card. It also comes with some headphones. These, don't expect these to be as good quality as the AKG or the headbuds that come with the S series of Samsung phones. All right, this will be purely functional. This is not really important to me because my dad does not use headphones. He mostly uses the speakerphone, so that's that. Next is USB-C. Now USB-C is pretty much ubiquitous everywhere, but it was also very important for me from a older person's perspective, something little as having a USB-C connection so that it's easy to connect for a person that's a little bit older. It's just one less frustration that my dad would have to deal with. And last but not least is a fast charger. Yeah, pretty straightforward. On the bottom of the box, you'll see a SIM ejector right here. And the phone will actually come wrapped in this little plastic case, wrapper, if you will, just showing off that it's Infinity U display. The U really refers to the selfie camera, which I'll show in a bit. Triple camera on the back, and the on-screen fingerprint reader. Now my dad, it's been really tough to get him to use the fingerprint readers in the past. Even for right now, he's using a Pixel 1 with the fingerprinter on the back. He's had a Galaxy S6 with the fingerprinter right here. I don't think this is going to be any better, so he's either going to do a pin unlock or a face unlock or a combination thereof. So yeah, here's the phone. This is running Android 9 Pie. And so as we kind of dive into this phone, I kind of want to tell you why I chose this phone over the S series or any other phones out there, right? So first off, just a little knowledge about how phones are released. So Samsung usually releases their phones the major releases are in March, February-ish for the S series. So for example, the S10 is out right now. So the Note is released in the fall, but the S11 I would imagine be released in this coming February, March timeframe. The iPhones are usually released in the fall as well, in the September, October timeframe, and then finally the Pixels are released in October. I'm not going to mention like the OnePlus series, which has basically almost like a 6-month release schedule. That's not what I'm going to concern with. I'm really concerned with just the major releases, so that can I buy the best phone at the particular time with whatever time it is in the year. So I know this is not the S series, this is the A series, but the point being is if it's midway through the cycle, if it was me, I would definitely wait for the next release for the next phone. But since this is for my dad, since this is released quite some time ago, the A series, this A50 to be exact, that means I'm not paying full price for this. And the whole point of this is this phone good enough? Not the best, not a perfect phone, but is it good enough for my dad? So with that in mind, there are several criteria besides it being the A series. A series inherently is like the cheaper series. So if you were to compare this to maybe pick your car brand of choice, Toyota versus Lexus. This is like the Toyota. And within the Toyota brand, there's going to be obviously like the Yaris, the Corolla, the Camry, the Avalon, and then you move up to Lexus, you know, ES, GS, and LS, right? So if you want to think, the A series here is kind of like the Camry, if you will. It'll have enough features. For example, it'll have a fingerprint reader. It'll have more than one camera. And it'll have an OLED screen. Maybe the lower ones will have no fingerprint reader, maybe just have a fingerprint reader on the back, what have you. And so this was the best compromise. And I believe I bought this in the mid 200s right now in the November 2019. And so this was a very good cost compromise. The second thing was a vendor specific easy mode. So this is just purely a modification of the One UI Samsung launcher so that it's much easier for my dad to use, right? Mind you, he's retired, he's well into his 70s. It needs to be easy to use, really large font, big icons. And so I needed something that was easy for him to use. He's been using Android iPhones over the years, and what actually pushed me back to Android again instead of an iPhone, which I would have defaulted to, is that there's no home button anymore. And I understand completely that you can put a soft home button for the iPhone, but I believe you can actually move it around. So it's not locked. It's not a locked home button. So it's very important to me that there's a soft home button here built into the UI for my dad. All right. Next, so then great. The home button is always my default for my dad or anyone that's elderly that doesn't really know how to use a phone. If they go somewhere and install something and they don't know how to use it, I tell them go home, right? If they are if they're just searching some website, they don't know what to do, just go home. That's it. Easy as that. But with the iPhone now, it's all like mostly gestures. It's tough. Even this, to me, this is kind of pointless to have an app launcher button. But again, for a person that didn't really grow up in the cell phone technology generation, this is much better. This is very much needed for him. Next, there was an option within this UI to then prevent the moving of icons, right? So my dad would fat finger and accidentally move these icons. So now that I've set it in the settings that he can't move them, he won't lose the icons and wonder, where the heck is this? Where's my phone button? Where's my maps? Where's whatever? So now that's that. And then the last thing about this UI is it has this really easy contact screen, if you will. So I can add myself, my family members, whoever he wants. So he can just tap and then call. It's really easy, right? It's a whole screen dedicated to it. So it's like idiot proof, just keep it easy. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS, right? No, that's easy mode. Another thing that I wanted to make sure within this phone was an ability to have auto restart. Now, I looked up on my short research that auto restart or getting an application on the Google Play Store would require root privileges for any phone. So that was a no-no for me. I want to make sure that my dad is using that something's built in, because ultimately if it breaks, I have to troubleshoot it, and it's quite tough troubleshooting a phone when you are not living in the same household and the end user does not know how to describe the problem to you properly. So if I can just set 5 a.m., restart every Sunday, over time, I believe this will kind of mitigate a lot of the headaches that I have troubleshooting my dad's issues, right? You can also see here I did night mode, dark mode. It's really big and easy for him to see. The last thing I'll do is compare it to my Galaxy S10 Plus. So you can see here, this is, you can't really see it on the camera, but this is glass, a little bit heavier. This is plastic. Let's tap on it. Right, it's plastic for sure, but when you hold it in your hand, it has a good weight to it. Back to the Infinity U display, you can see that there is, the display goes around the selfie camera, right? And also out of the box, it's nice now, Samsung includes a screen protector here, right? So you don't have to buy a screen protector, even though you could go ahead and buy something like this. I'll put a link in description below. It's basically a tempered glass. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this on for now, and hopefully it'll protect it, mostly because it's probably compatible with the fingerprint reader, but again, my dad's probably gonna use a pin or pattern or something like that, right? All right, so this is the S10 Plus, very comparable in size. This one's a little bit heavier. You can feel the heft, it's more solid. The fingerprint reader obviously works better. You can see the thickness here. For the A50, on the left side of the phone will be the SIM tray. This one actually comes with the ability to put 2 SIM cards in there, so that if you travel, it's great. Also, the memory card will go in here as well. I'm not so sure about the waterproofing, but I don't think there is any IP rating, but I'll put that up on the screen right now if there is. And that's that. So again, mid 200s, really easy phone to use, big, easy to read, OLED, has always on. Figured it was pretty no-brainer with this case to give my dad and not have to worry about buying him a new iPhone or a used iPhone or a Pixel 3 or a Pixel 3a. Those still hold their value quite a bit. So when you talk about when a person is 60, 70 plus years old, do they need night sight? Do they need the fastest processor? Do they need the biggest screens? Even though this one is actually pretty much the same size as the S10 Plus. This is $1,000. This is $250, even though they're only released maybe 6 months apart, give or take. Now the cameras are not the best. I know that we go out to events and such like that it would be nice for him to capture higher res pictures, but ultimately on a day-to-day basis, he's gonna need a big screen, something easy to use that doesn't have icons that float all over the place and keeps him protected. So that's why also you saw earlier I installed Lookout. So that was a quick look at the Samsung A50 and why I bought this and chose this over a used iPhone, over a used Pixel 3, or even new S10 or S8 or S9. So I thought that was a great value for this particular phone for my particular use case. And if it fits yours, hopefully it can fit yours as well. So wish you all the best. See you next time. Take care. If you like this, please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Love to have a conversation with you.